Good morning, students. Here we are going to discuss about information security and provisions in e-commerce. In the previous class already we have discussed these three topics. What are the three components of an e-commerce system, as we know. So while discussing this part, as I told already to you, that before uh, understanding this part is just to think about that you are going to start an online business, e-commerce websites. So if you have started a business using e-commerce, means in e-commerce, which will be totally online, then what are the things you need to think about, that how to give the security to your users, how the authentication will be done, like the OTP it comes to your mobile phones to verify yourself that yes, you are the exact person which is trying to doing this transaction. And the integrity and non-repudiation, it means that the things that you are the users always will put their sensitive information like credit card numbers, debit card numbers, or your what account numbers and other information, what the informations are providing to you as the user. If it sends the all the information, you have to give the assurity that these all the informations will be tamper proof, means no, it is not visible to others, and it will never be intact, means it will be remain same, it will, the information always it will be intact, no change. So you see, when you start a business, first you have to give the privacy to your users. That means the users should have the login ID and password, so the unauthorized person should not access his account. Then the authentication, as I told, that authentication means the two maybe within the banks or maybe within the e-commerce website servers. So that authentication must be done while you send a request and you get the response from the server side. Okay, the just to think about that when you are going to when you are trying to register your WhatsApp, that you used to get always one OTP to verify your mobile numbers. So it shows what, that you are the exact person who is trying to this is the authentication of sender and receiver. And integrity, that I just told, that all the informations what are provided by the users, this should be tamper proofed and it should not be intact. So these are the three things we have already discussed in the previous class. Next you come that these three things, how this privacy, authentication and integrity, how these things will be given to the users. So these things will be given to the user using one protocol, and this protocol is none other than, this is SSL protocol, very important protocol, this one, SSL, secure socket layers. Now this question comes maximum time in your exam. It comes as true false, maximum time it comes as fill in the blanks and one word questions. So if it comes the fill in the blanks, how it will come, the dash is a protocol used to secure data transmission across network. Dash, it will come dash, you have to let SSL. It sometime it comes, this is a protocol as one word question, this is a protocol used to secure data transmission over network. So here you have to write SSL. So this SSL protocol, what are the things actually in SSL protocol? It comprises, you have to see the public key encryption and private key encryption. What is public key and private key? These things we have to understand here. So public key means while you trying to do any transaction, the server will always send a key. Okay, one key. Your browser will understand, you don't need to do anything, it will be just in the background. This process always it runs on the background. So public key, it is the server's key, and private key, it is also the server's key, but the difference in public and private is that public, it will be sent to all the users whoever is trying to access the server. So if you want to log in to any shopping website like Flipkart, so Flipkart server will produce his public key to you and all other users. But when you send a message to this Flipkart server, that Flipkart server will decrypt this message, means it will open that message by using his private key, and private key is, it is fully protected and it should not be given to any other else. It is only visible or only accessible for that server only, but publicly it is given to all over the network. Here you see privacy of information is handled by encryption and decryption process. Now what does it mean, encryption and decryption? So to understand this encryption and decryption, you can understand the say in WhatsApp also nowadays encryption and decryption is there. You can see your end-to-end encrypted message you can see in your WhatsApp. So encryption, it means when you send a message like say hi to any receiver, you are the sender. So this hi, it may be changed to in different formats. Say H may be replaced by hash, and I may be replaced by say 7, and maybe other some characters say 0, 7, 6, some other characters may be added to it or may not be. So if someone gets in between over the network while transmitting this in message, if any third person gets this message, he will unable to read this message, because what is the meaning of this message he will not understand. But this is the encrypted message, this is encrypted message. So it can be decrypted by only the receiver, it is the sender, so only the receiver can decrypt this and he will get the exact message. So first it will be encrypted, again it will be decrypted to the original message. In between, if someone gets this message, he will not get this message, he will not understand the message. So this process is called the encryption, which is human unreadable format, and again if we got the original format, this is called decrypted message. Okay, so here the definition of encryption and decryption is given. Encryption is the process of converting, here you can see the underline both the terms, just to underline this one. Now how this encryption and decryption actually it is done? This encryption is done using public key of the receiver side, if it is the server, and this decryption is done by the private key. Remember, encryption is done by public key and decryption is done by private key. If it comes in your exam, just to remember, then encryption always done by the public key of the receiver, and decryption in the receiving side, it is always open with the private key of that receiving side. Remember, so this process is called the key pair. We have the private key and public key, this is called key pair. You can see here it is given the definition. You can see only the owner knows the private key and it is distributed to any users who request it. So you want to access the www.flipkart.com, that means you have sent an HTTP request, you want to access this service from the server of Flipkart. So Flipkart will provide you the public key. So using this public key. So using this public key, you can also refer the request to the servers for other transactions. So whenever you send any message to the servers, then always that message will be decrypted by the server only using his private key. Okay, in between, if someone gets the message, he cannot read it because he doesn't know the private key of the receiving server. Now these things, as we have discussed, the three things should be given: privacy, authentication and integrity. Now these things will be carried by one protocol, and this protocol is SSL protocol. So in this protocol there are two types of keys are working, which is public key and private key, and these two keys are working. Why? Because to make encryption and decryption. Now this protocol and this all private key, public key, who will give these things? Okay, who will permit to use such kind of things? So this permit should be taken, and this permit should be given by one authority. This is called certificate authority. In a simple example, you can see, while you are trying to start a business, maybe offline, not online. You think about offline business. You are starting a business like say on petrol pump you want to start. So to start this petrol pump, you must have taken the permission. You must be taken permission from the authority. In this authority permission, they will write that yes, you are authorized person from this to that. Maybe validity also is there. Sometimes the shopkeepers also, they take the permission from the authority. If you want to start a business in any marketing area, you must you must take permission from the authority. So here also, when you try to start a business, you have to take the permission from the authority. This is called certificate authority, and they will provide you a certificate, and which is digital certificate, not like offline certificate that you used to get after passing SSLC. This is not the certificate, this is the offline, this is a manual certificate, but this is digital certificate. Why this thing is required? You may ask why this certificate is required. Because you see, as you have to give the privacy, authentication and integrity, everything you must give to the users. So your website that you have created to start a business, these three things are given or not, this encryption and decryptions are there or not, the message it is sent and received, these things actually encrypted or not, that your informations are, that you are using the websites, in these websites all informations the users or the customers they are providing, these are totally intact or not, totally safe or not, who will check? So one authority is there, they will check, and after checking they will issue a certificate that yes, these all are okay, then you can start a business. So this is called digital certificate. So you can see the definition of digital certificate. A digital certificate, a kind of digital code or credential, authenticates the identity of the server. Identity of the server means certificate, as we have the certificate after passing anything, this is the identity, one kind of identity that yes, I have passed, this is proof. So all the servers, they will start a business, your Flipkart server or Amazon server, they must have such kind of identity, one digital certificate, and that certificate is provided by digital certificate authority. And in our certificate authority, some authority examples are given. You just underline all these examples here. These are the examples: VeriSign, Thought, DigiCert, Komodo, okay, and Trust and Global Sign. These all are the third party organizations who checks your all the websites activity, that's all the things are okay or not, it is provided encryption or not, everything it will check. After that they will provide or they will issue a certificate to you that you can start your business, your website is okay. Now what are the requirements are there? Actually they check in the certificate, what are the things are there in your certificate. So remember, to understand these points, just you think about your iCard. Okay, you can say about your iCard, or you may say bikes registration card or cars registration card. Simply you can think about your iCard. In your iCard, what are the things are there? Your name will be there, your address will be there, there will be a number, that is roll number, and your class, everything informations will be there. So like the same here also, a certificate, digital certificate contains the following requirements. These are the things. It is a very important question. What are the requirements in this digital certificate? First, the owner name. So if you have started your business, in your certificate what are the things will be there? Your name, your owner name, your email address, and the URL of your server. Obviously without URL, which URL it contains, that URL should be given, that means the web address. A certificate contains the web address of your server, then your name, your email address. The owner, if you have to think about you are the owner, just as I told. Then owner's public key. Now you see why public key is required. In our iCard obviously there is no public key. So here you have to think public key is required because it requires to encrypt and decrypt the process. Private key will be not there, only public key, because private key it is totally secure. It should not be tempered, it should not be shown to anyone. So it is not mentioned in the digital certificate. It is totally separated from other things. So public key, it is the part. Next, the name of the certificate authority. That means the certificate will be issued by one authority among these, that VeriSign, Thought, DigiCert, Komodo. So out of this or among this, any who has actually issued this certificate, their name, maybe Global Sign, maybe VeriSign, their name will be mentioned in your digital certificate. Then a serial number. Like in your iCard you have a serial number, means if you think about your roll number. Then the validity period, yes, certificate validity period. In your iCard also you have the period, 1 year period it has. So 119 to 20, 21 to 22, like that. One range of area it is given, that means range of year it is given. Here also there will be a range, that means validity. Next, the signature of the digital certificate authority. after issuing this certificate, their signature. So what are the things? Like we have the signature of authority. Who is the authority? So authorized person is the principal, sir. In your I-card, principal, sir, signs the things. So simply these 4-5 requirements you can think about, that what are the things are there in your digital certificate. First of all, the owner name, email address and URL, then public key of your server, then what, certificate authority name, who has issued that one, that is serial number, then the validity period of your certificate, and lastly it is what, digital signature of certificate authority. So these are the things. So in this topic, the things whatever we have discussed, security in e-commerce, from that part like privacy, authentication, integrity, then SSL protocol, public key, private key, encryption, decryption, digital certificate and digital certificate authority, example of digital certificate authority and the requirements in digital certificates. These are the questions. You can see so many questions, and every year at least one question comes from this topic. Now next topic, it is given that example how e-commerce transaction takes place. How you see, when you start to purchase something, how actually it starts. Okay, so for that, just to remember here, 1 2 3 5 points are there. All the 5 points will discuss using one diagram. Here you see. So let me clear, clear the page. Now you see. So before going to discussing this one, you think about here that your computer is there. This is your computer and this is the server. Think about, say, Flipkart server. Okay, Flipkart server. This is the server, this is you. So when you try to purchase something, what you need to do, you have to need to open your Internet Explorer, that means any web browser. Then you have to type, say, www. This is the first step. Step number 1. So you have to type what? Say www.flipkart.com. Shortcut I have written. Okay, flipkart.com. This is the first step. Then if server is available, then server should respond to you with his digital certificate plus public key. Remember, if server is available, then this server should respond. This is the step number 2. You see all the steps with match with this one. First, you have typed the www.flipkart.com. That means you have to open your web browser. Then you have to type the web address or URL of the server, in which server you want to purchase. So we have taken about example as Flipkart. Now Flipkart will respond with 2 things. What? Digital certificate and public key. So now this digital certificate will be checked, it is actually valid or not. So who will check these things? This checking will be done by the browser. Now in the browsing side, the browser will check the validity of digital certificate plus public key. Okay, so what actually it will check? It will check actually public key, not public key, only digital. It will check only digital certificate. Browser will check the digital certificate. Now there are 2 ways. This digital, if the digital certificate is valid, actually what it will check? In digital certificate, they will check the validity and signature. Validity means the certificate has the validity or not. As we know, in digital certificate there is a validity period. Sometimes you have seen, maybe you are trying to visit any websites and it is not opening. So this validity may be expired. Every year or maybe 2 years after that, you need to reissue your websites. You have to pay little bit money. So here also the similar thing, digital certificate will be checked, and if the digital certificate is okay, if the validity and signature, who has signed, means the signature, as we know, the third party who can issue the digital certificate. If it is not among these one, then it is invalid. So if it is invalid, then your connection will be cancelled. If it is valid, think about valid. Okay, then what will happen? Then from your sending side, you will produce what? One key, that means OTP. Like that, you think about OTP will be created, and this OTP will be encrypted with the public key. Encrypted, it is fully encrypted, OTP and public key using this one. So this is step number 4. Step number 4, where OTP and public key will be encrypted. After encryption, what will happen? It will send. So after sending also, step number 4, it comes under send. So when it will be received in the serving side, server side, he will do what? Using his, this is encrypted or not? It should be decrypted. So how it will be decrypted? Using his private key. Using his private key, this message will be decrypted. Say if the OTP equal to 1 2 3, it was the OPT, he will get 1 2 3. So when he will get this same OTP and he will send again to the sender, that means try to match. This is the step number 5. Step number 5, he will try to match with this OTP, sender and receiving. If it is same, that means the connection is established. Okay, so again I am repeating the steps. First step, you can see you have to type www, that means whatever in anywhere, wherever you are trying to start an online shopping, maybe Flipkart, maybe Amazon. So this is the step number 1. You have to send the request, and accordingly server will respond with the digital certificate and the public key. Then browser will check the digital certificate. This is the step number 3, digital certificate. Actually the digital certificate will be checked what? The validity of the digital certificate and the signer of the digital certificate. The signer is actually okay or not. If it is not, then your connection will be abort means cancelled. And if it is valid, the step number 4 comes. Invalid, then what? If it is valid, then what will happen? It will generate one-time session key, means we can say OTP, then plus public key of the server. He will encrypt this message, so other person cannot decrypt this. So if you have sent a very important message and in between someone is there who is trying to hack these things, he will never be understand this one, because he doesn't know the private key of the server. So this is the step number 4. After that, he will send this message to the server, and now server will decrypt this message. To open this message, he will use what? The private key of this server. After opening this one, he will get the session key, and then he will try to match with the session key with the sender. If it is same, that means authentication is done. Then the further connection is fully secure. So this whole process is doing by the SSL protocol. Okay, SSL protocol. You can see all the steps and try to match with the step number 1 2 3 4 5 that I have discussed here. You can go through these things. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask. So today this much is okay, and we will stop this part. In the next class, and I think within 1 or 2 classes we will complete this chapter. And remember, some of the topics here repeated. Some education means some of the things already we have discussed in chapter number 2. These things are again here, so you have to read the like e-shopping, e-business, like e-learning. These such kind of things are still here. So once you read, and these things will not repeat here. This will be given fully to your homework. If you have any doubt, you can ask. The rest of the part, whatever the things we need to discuss, I will not discuss. You have to discuss yourself. That means you have to read yourself, you have to study. If you have any doubt, you can ask, because such kind of topic already we have discussed in chapter number 2. Okay, so stop this part.